Hey, what's up everybody? It's Sam with Cape Fear Collectibles. Welcome back. Today we're just going to be doing a quick video about submitting cards to grading services for obviously the purpose of grading. For this video we're using Beckett. I've used PSA in the past, and we'll also go over some of the differences between the two. But for this video we are submitting using Beckett. Honestly, when it comes down to it, really, it seems to just be personal preference. There are some kind of ideas out there that Beckett grades a little bit harder, and then it's easier to get a PSA 10 over a Beckett 10. There's also preferences when it comes to what actual items you're submitting for grading. I think Beckett grades. Again, these are all just kind of rumory kind of things, but Beckett is a little bit harder on centering. So sometimes maybe if you have a card that's a little bit more off-centered, you might send it to PSA instead of Beckett to try to get a better grade. But again, these are all just little things, and when it really comes down to it, it's just kind of what service you prefer to use. Anyway, that being said, when the first thing that you would obviously do is go onto the site that you want to use for your grading. Both sites offer online submission where you can go and actually add online the cards that you want to submit and print out obviously the form and submit that way. PSA I feel like is actually a little bit more intuitive. Their online submission form's a little bit easier to use. Beckett is a little bit harder, honestly, even just to find on their site. It's not as user-friendly, but it still gets the job done, and it's not overly difficult to do. The other a big difference between Beckett and PSA is when you're entering the cards. On Beckett, they ask for a declared value, and the sole purpose of that is just for providing shipping insurance when they return your items to you. On PSA, they ask for a declared value for each card. And that's not, and that there's some confusion on that sometimes. It's not what the card is worth right now before grading. They want you to research and get an idea, one, what you think your card is going to get graded at, and what the value of that card would be at the grade that you think it might get, which is honestly kind of tedious and a little bit annoying to have to do, and they do that because it's based on their price structures. So the more valuable the cards, the more expensive it is to send them in. So Beckett does not do that, so I think that is kind of a plus. Makes things easier, faster, and somewhat less expensive depending on the cards. So there is that difference there. Besides that, there's not much difference on the submission process. Once you get the cards submitted, you print out the sheet, and then you can get your cards ready for packing, which we already have here. And then we have some cards set aside that we're not getting graded, just to show you the packing process for the cards. Another thing that's a slight difference, and again, not a huge one, but with Beckett, you don't have to have the cards in the same order that they are on the sheet. With PSA, you are required to have the cards in the exact same order that they are on your submission form. If they're not, when they receive them, your return time is going to be extended. You're going to get some delays, and there is some kind of fee involved, I'm sure, with that. So you want to make sure that you have your cards in order if you're submitting through PSA. Anyway, here's some of the cards just real quick to show off real quick, just because they're cool. And these are Force of Will extended foils from Double Masters that we were sending in to get graded. Those are really nice foils right there. Then we also have a Soul Ring from Amonkhet. The only with this one, I think you might be able to see it. There's a little mark on there, so this one's definitely not going to be a 9 or a 10, but maybe a 7 at best. We also got our foil Mana Crypt extended art from Double Masters. some Chrome Mox from Double Masters, and Avacyn Angel of Hope, which is a really cool looking foil. I really like this extended art from Double Masters, the Lightning Greaves. I really like how the foil shows off on there. And then we got a full art foil Jace. And then we have a Muddle the Mixture from Ravnica City of Guilds, a foil. And this is in exceptionally good shape from for such an older set. So here's some of the stuff we're sending in. But anyway, so real quick, for submitting your cards, you can use a penny sleeve or just a regular true fit sleeve. Some people prefer the true fits. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. What does matter though is you want to be careful. Actually, first thing, some people wear gloves. If you're sending in really expensive cards, sure, but I do always recommend at least washing your hands beforehand to not get any smudges on the cards or anything like that. Now, the thing when you're inserting the cards that you want to be careful of, because you can get nicks and dings on the edges of your cards when inserting. So what you want to do is just take the sleeve and kind of bend it so that you get an opening there, and put a corner in like this, and then slide in the rest nice and easy like that, and then you can avoid damaging the edges here. Card savers are generally the best thing to send your cards in. Unfortunately, they're not the cheapest, and they do not return them with your package. So once they're submitted, they're gone. But anyway, they're generally thought of as one of the better ways to send the cards. So you take one. As you notice, when they're stuck in this pile, they're going to kind of be like stuck together. So what you want to kind of do is just bend them a little bit, kind of break up that so they're not so you can get the card in there. Again, the same thing, you want to insert a finger to open the top part so you're not going to accidentally ding the edges of your card. And again, slide in nice and easy, and then you have your card in. Now you can kind of wiggle it in as far as you can. As you go down, it gets more difficult to push the card, and then eventually you kind of lose grip on it. So then what you want to do is kind of take it and just squeeze the edges, and then that way you can easily slide the card in. When you let go, it's nice and firm in there. It's not moving anywhere. It's very secure. So once you get down to about, you don't need to put it all the way to the edge. Once you get to about here, you're not going to have any problems with the card shifting around. So, all right. So now that we're submitting with Beckett, we don't need these in any particular order. So what we can do is grab your stack, and again, it doesn't have to be any specific kind of rubber band, but just a small rubber band. You want to put one across horizontally here, get it affixed to the middle, and then usually add at least one more vertically and get that centered. And then this will keep your cards from shuffling around in your package. Next thing you want to do is protect the cards that you're sending into. I like to use bubble wrap. It's pretty easy. I usually just take a piece, put it on here, and then slowly start wrapping it up. Doesn't have to be super pretty, but kind of keep it from folding on to over itself too much. Wrap it up nice and tight, and then fold the corners in. Now, what I like to do is get a small box like this, but this one you don't even need to tape, and it'll fit nice and tight and snug in there. So there's not going to be any shifting in this. There's going to be no movement in this box whatsoever. Once you get that packaged in, you just want to take your submission form. And again, since this is a real small box, I'm just going to fold it once this way, and then fold it again. And it just looks kind of nice and neat. Fits perfectly in there, right on top, like that. I might have to push it down a little bit, and then obviously close it up, seal it up, print it, print off your or go either print off your shipping label or take it to the post office to have them shipped. Obviously, it goes without saying, you want to make sure that you get tracking and insurance to safeguard your cards from any loss or damages. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe. We might do a video using PSA, but it's honestly so similar that there's really no reason to do that. But what else we got going on? I think we have a couple Pokemon collections that we've gotten in that we're going to go over, just kind of showing the conditions of the cards and what may or may not be worth sending in to get graded. But other than that, again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.